How's everyone doing? Well, just meant to actually pop the chat out, but yeah, it's all good. How is everyone doing? Thanks for joining us on the live stream. Yeah, accidentally went live a little bit early, but it's all good. I was just sorting out the live chat here, sorting out my setup. Just a little bit messed up. How is everyone doing? Hope you all had a good weekend. Hope you're all having a very profitable month as well on Amazon. So yeah, which is a little bit early. But let me just put a few messages out into the group so everyone knows that we're live. Jumping on a little bit early. So how is everyone doing? Thanks for joining us. We've got 2 viewers at the moment. I guess because we're a little bit early. But we'll just hang out and wait for everyone else to join. I'll have a quick drink while we're waiting. Yeah, I have just got up from a small little power nap on the sofa, which is quite nice. So feeling refreshed and ready to go. But yeah, my month is not going as well as I was hoping. Actually, having a look at actually today's not too bad. £273 profit, not too bad. Hey Snappy, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. How's it going? Did you have a good weekend? Hope you had a good weekend. Hopefully relaxing. Hopefully you're not dreaming about Jeff Bezos chasing you chasing you in your dreams, sending you an Amazon bill. Dear, yeah, that's quite a funny comment you left on my videos there, Snappy. Yeah, today's not too bad. £273.51 profit, but it's actually good for this month. This month's been a little bit slow. My sales have been a little bit slow. I might have to go through all my prices and just reduce my prices a little bit on Profit Tech Pro, which, by the way, is the sponsor of this video, but or this live stream. But we'll talk about that later. How is your month going, Snap? Are you making lots of profit? Hopefully, you are. How is everyone else's month going? That'd be interesting to see. Is it just me that's having a slow month, or is everyone else having a slow month as well? I feel like people are maybe waiting out for Christmas, not quite shopping very early. My friend sent me a message here about some more taxes from Labour, so yeah, that might be why people are worried about taxes coming in. Yeah, 8 o'clock, here we go. We are live now, so we'll be live for a little bit while. How is everyone doing? So yeah, today we are talking about Amazon. If you guys have got any questions you've got about Amazon FBA, feel free to ask them, and I'll do my best to give you a correct answer, or my opinion on that answer, on that question, I should say. But yeah, so yeah, this month has been a bit slow for me. I am on about month to date. Let's have a look. £3,700. So about halfway through the month, that puts me on for about 7,000 profit, which is not good. It's been very slow. I've got £115,376 in Amazon right now. Well, apparently actually 110,672 in Amazon, but the rest of it's on the way or transferring or whatever. So, excuse me. So Snappy says only just really started this month, nothing compared against. Spent a bit, but selling bits daily. Cool, that's good. Yeah, just getting the consistent sales in. So I spent £8,000 today on stock from Quigita. So on, I think it was only 4 products. Yeah, 4 orders, 4 products. So not a bad day actually, just from like less than an hour of sourcing actually, which is really nice. So yeah, I had a really good call today with a guy called Antoine, who is starting up Amazon again. And he's been did Amazon for, I think he said 3 or 4 years back in 2017 and gave it up. Now wants to get back into it. So he was just asking some questions in the FBA Moguls group. If I can find the actual thingy, Bob. Asking whether do I prefer Seller Amp or Buybot Pro. I mean, they're both really good tools, so I guess you can try the free trial on both of them and see which one you prefer. And where to get VAs from. So in my group, you'll see there's a channel called Hire a VA, and you can get a VA from Outsource Central. They train admin and sourcing VAs. So yeah, so Snappy's eager to start with Cogito. Just the ungating bothers me. It's just like any other thing, really. I guess if you find like an amazing site online, but you can't get invoices, are you gonna say no? I'm not gonna buy the stuff if it's like a really good price. I mean, yeah, you just do what you normally do, which is what I normally do. I just use a known site that's really good for ungating, or they used to be anyway. So a great one used to be Notino, but I think Amazon are being a little bit stricter with it recently. Saying that, it's not just Notino, actually. I know someone who tried to ungate Paco Rabanne with a wholesale actual direct invoice from a very well-known health and beauty distributor, and they said no. So Amazon just being a little bit strict at the moment with Q4 coming up. But yeah, I wouldn't let it bother you, mate. Wouldn't let it hold you back. It's not stopping me at all. I've got some really good sales today that are actually from Cogito stuff. Let's have a look what I've got. A few Lego sets, a few bits and bobs here. A couple of 8-aways. Yeah, some very nice, actually, looking here. Some items from Cogito. So some actual cosmetic items, which are very nice. So, and I had a few nice sale. Actually, yeah, nice sale here. It's a perfume. I paid £50 and 50 pence, selling it for 80. My profit is, I don't know why I'm selling it now. I should be holding it for Christmas. But anyway, I guess it's good to take the money now anyway. But I'm making £9.29 profit on that per unit. So I'm always happy, even if it's only 22% ROI, always happy to make between £9 and £10 per unit on perfumes. Really nice. So that's perfumes are fantastic. That's what I look for, between sort of 5 and 10, ideally £10 profit per unit. But yeah, so yeah, if you guys got any questions, Amazon FBA, let me know. We were really busy last week. We went on for 10 minutes over, actually, because we had so many questions. But yeah, so if you've got any questions about Amazon FBA, let me know. Actually, one guy was asking me, this Antoine guy was asking me earlier, like what he wants to get back into Amazon. Should he do online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, wholesale, private label? It's a tricky one, really. I always say just go with whatever you find more interesting. Hey Brad, how's it going? You having a good weekend? You having a good day? Yeah, I always say to people, just go with whatever interests you most. I think wholesale can be quite a nice one, but you need more money. OA for me is just like the king, I think, to begin with. And then you can maybe move into other things like private label, wholesale potentially afterwards when you've got more money. But I do like OA. And he was asking what my favorite sourcing method was. And you guys know my favorite sourcing method is newsletter sourcing. But I guess the point I was actually making to him as well, actually, the point I want to bring up now is it's not necessarily the newsletters that are the important thing when it comes to newsletter sourcing. It's just knowing where the deals are. That's all the newsletters do. They tell me where a sale is going on. That's what they do. They all these online retailers, they email out saying, hey, we've got a sale going on, 20% off on whatever. That's all it is, really. So there's nothing that special about newsletters. I know someone actually left me a little bit of a negative comment saying, oh, FBA Mogul must be finding some fantastic newsletters. I'm like, it's just telling us where the sales are, because everything we buy is generally on sale. So that's all the newsletters are. So if you know where the sales are anyway, then you can kind of skip the newsletter element of it. But that's what the whole point of the newsletters is. So I thought it was quite a funny comment. I was like, I must have some sort of magical, amazing newsletters. I'm like, no, I'm just going where the sales are. That's all it is. That's all we're doing is buying sale items, essentially, whether coupons or just like already discounted. So I'm glad you had a good weekend. Oh yeah, Monday. Yeah, I was struggling today as well a little bit. So definitely behind on all my DMs and stuff. I do apologize for those that I've not responded to on DMs yet. I've definitely fallen behind. But yeah, so hopefully, I think I maybe put the announcement out for this a little bit late, so we haven't got quite as many viewers. But if you guys got any questions, feel free. This is what this is for. Anyone who wants to ask me any question about Amazon FBA, feel free to post it out there. But yeah, this person was asking about, Antoine was asking about virtual assistants. Like I say, I recommend Outsource Central personally. But if you want to like hire one directly and train them yourself, then onlinejobs.ph is, I think, pretty much where most people get them from. But then you have to actually train them yourself. So, so Nathan, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Hey Phil, how's it going? Thanks for joining us as well. Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Cheers, not too bad. A little bit tired, but yeah, it's fine. Had a little bit of a power nap earlier. So Nathan says, is it better to go for high ROI when starting out? Yes, I think you should always aim for around 30% ROI. Main reason is because it gives you a margin of error when you mess up, essentially, which is going to happen. So you're either going to misread the product, or it's a product that's going to end up tanking a little bit more than you expect. So at least with 30% ROI, you're giving yourself plenty of room to make money. If it goes down to 25, 20, 15, or even 10% ROI, you can still make money. So that's why. Whereas you were cutting it really thin on an item, it's 10 or 15% ROI, you really don't have much margin for error. And yeah, that could end up costing you money, basically. So that's why I like to say 30% ROI. Currently, right now, I'm pretty solid at 40%. Like, it's actually scary how I just run at 40% now. So today is 42, but my month today is 40%. Yeah, crazy. So £3,700 profit, £21,369 revenue, 539 units, and 40% ROI. So kind of crazy that I seem to stick to 40%. It's very strange because I swear when I source, I'm looking at 30%. I'm not looking at 40%, so I don't know how I keep hitting these 40% things. Basically, I guess 30% is always my minimum, but then oftentimes I'm able to find things that are higher as well. Oh yeah, Clyde, you asked. Yeah, great. Thank you for reminding me about the transparency codes. So as far as I'm aware, transparency codes are it's an initiative by Amazon. So it's by Amazon for Amazon essentially. So a brand owner, this is my understanding of it, is a brand owner can apply to put a transparency code or make their product transparency coded. And that means any products that are sold through Amazon have to have transparency code on them. And Amazon charge a tiny fee for every transparency code they generate. I can't remember what it is now. I remember looking up a while back, but obviously they make money off this, essentially. So, but yeah, essentially it's the brand or the listing owner, I guess, is the one that decides to make a transparency code. And this is why you probably won't find transparency codes outside of Amazon generally, because I think it's just made for Amazon, unless, like I say, the producer, the person manufacturing it decides it's not worth producing, two, I'm trying to get my hands out here, like two types, one for Amazon, one for not for Amazon. They decide it's just cheaper to put transparency codes on all the products. So that's my understanding of it. So no, other resellers are not required to do it. It's just Amazon, basically. Yeah. That's as far as I'm aware. So I'm not pretending to be like a massive expert on it, but that's my understanding, basically, which is why oftentimes you buy an item from Notino, for example, and it requires a transparency code on Amazon. It doesn't have it always. So, yeah. Bocage has said, I've heard you dropped a fair bit on Kogita. Have you had any fakes come through? No. I mean, they guarantee against fakes. They vet all their suppliers. There's no random sellers on there. It's all proper big wholesalers. So I've not had any issues with fakes. The only issues I've had is actually today I had to tell my prep center, I was like, this thing's been delivered to the wrong unit, you need to go and find it. They actually went and found it for me. Got delivered to the wrong address. I've had some damaged items come in. So I bought some Jean Paul Gaultier, I don't actually have them here, they're somewhere else, but perfumes, and they come in this almost like a baked bean tin. It's come in a tin, basically, and they were not packed very well. They were literally just put in a box with no padding whatsoever, 20, 30 of them together. They came all the way from Germany. By the time they got here, they were absolutely smashed, crushed, dented. They were not good. I think out of let's say 30 that I bought, maybe 20 of them were dented, and the other ones I could probably sell. But I've got reimbursed on those, by the way, so they refunded me. I'm now going to wait 2 weeks to see if the seller wants them back, and if they want them back, they can arrange to pick them up and send them back to Germany. Otherwise, I get to keep them, and I'm just literally going to sell them for dirt cheap. Because they tried to give me a 20% discount, and I was like, I don't want them. I'm trying to Amazon stuff here that's new. I don't want to be selling really dented and destroyed items, even though the contents are fine. These are all going to be gift items for Christmas, or pretty much. So I can't, I'm not into eBaying things individually either. Just don't have time for that. So I'll be offloading them probably cheap in the group. Maybe we'll see. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. Let someone else make the money doing it on eBay. But yeah, that's the only problems I've had. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, so, and yeah, those dented ones basically were the only ones. I'm trying to think any of the problems I've had. No, but no fakes. It's all been good. So yeah, it's no problem whatsoever. So Brad's asking, what's my admin process and what you found you need in place admin wise? So it doesn't matter if it's not entertaining. People will find it interesting, hopefully. I'm not admitting that I'm not the best person at admin. I've now got an admin VA. But the main thing you need to do is you need to figure out, and you can do this yourself, is like what task do you end up doing on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis, and sort of ad hoc basis as well. Write those down, and those are the ones you can give off to like an admin VA. But yeah, essentially the main thing when it comes to admin is like keeping track of what you've ordered is the main thing, and then making sure it's been delivered. And then obviously using a prep center, making sure that's actually getting sent into Amazon. And then the big one really is just staying on top of your invoices. That's the biggest admin task. I say that's probably 90% of the admin, to be honest, is just staying on top of invoices for your VAT returns. For me, it is anyway. That seems what it seems to be the biggest task. But I guess there's other things as well, like staying on top of your prices, maybe readjusting your reprice like Profitex Pro. By the way, this stream is sponsored by Profitex Pro. It is the best repricer. So it's the one that I use. It really is very good. So pretty much once you set it up, you don't need to touch it unless you need to adjust prices slightly, which is what I need to do if I want to try and get some sales. Maybe I need to bring down my minimum prices just a little bit because I'm quite optimistic in what the prices I want for my products. And I've got quite a lot of stock in Amazon and I need to maybe sell through a little bit of it. I always like to tend to hold for that sort of 30-40% ROI, and sometimes I might be better off just taking maybe 25% ROI. So I need to just go through. I don't know how many SKUs I've got in Amazon right now, maybe 300, 350, 400. Just go through each one, maybe just adjust those prices just slightly. But yeah, it's a really fantastic repricer, so check that out. But yeah, in terms of admin, it's just staying on top of the invoices is the big thing for me, really. Obviously, VAT return happens every quarter. You've got your annual accounts as well that happen every year. And then I'm trying to think what else really in terms of like admin. But that's pretty much it. And then I guess the big thing that I still haven't solved for yet, but there's going to be a great service that's in beta testing right now. Basically dealing with returns is probably the biggest headache and biggest, I don't know if it's admin, but it certainly takes a lot of time up having to receive a return, either inspect it and then do what you got to do with it, eBay it mostly, send it back into Amazon. It's a real pain in the backside basically dealing with returns, but there's a great service hopefully coming out soon. Let's say they're beta testing everything now where they're going to take all your returns for you and eBay them on your behalf and get you some money back. So yeah, that's the biggest pain I think. But yeah, hopefully that answered that question. So Big HR says, when buying off Greet, I assume the packaging on most items is going to be another language. No, why would it be? Yeah, so literally it all depends on the EAN number essentially. So when you're buying it, there's they call it the GTIN number. It's all the same thing: GTIN, EAN, UPC, pretty much the same thing. It's the barcode number. So I've never had anything come through like I've ordered from like Poland, I've ordered from Germany, I've ordered from all sorts of places, and I'm basically. What I do is I look at that GTIN code and I put it into a website called... Do I have it up here, actually? Let's have a look quickly. I don't. That's annoying. EAN check. I put it into a website called scanbot.io, and it does like a barcode lookup. And I just double check that that's the same item that my white balance has gone all funny on my camera. Yeah, just check to make sure the item I'm buying on there is the same one that I'm selling on Amazon. And yeah, as far as I'm aware, even if you're selling the same item that's got different packaging in different countries, they'll have different barcodes on them. So I've not run into that issue myself. I don't know if others have. And I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't... If it is an item I know is a foreign language, like I've got one here actually. So this one here. Toothpaste. I don't know if you can see that. It's probably not going to focus. Anyway, there we go. Toothpaste. So this is in, I don't know, Polish or something, I guess. Does this matter? No, it doesn't really. So I'd be okay selling this in a foreign language. People do. I bought this on Amazon to help someone out, get their first sale. If it's something like the Jean Paul Gaultier perfumes, which I know are going to be a gifted item for someone at Christmas, I would want that in English. So it all depends on what I'm buying. If it's more of a utility product like this, toothpaste, or is it more of a giftable or something that needs to be presented in a a better way, then I'd worry about it being in languages. But yeah, the barcode determines essentially what product it is. Hopefully that helps on that one. So Creator just seems so easy to source, banging products, super good. So yeah, it is, really is. Yeah. So anyone who wants to sign up to that, use a code FBA Mogul to get £120 off as well. I'll put all the information in the description for this if you want to sign up to Cogita. It is killer. So today I spent an hour sourcing. I spent 8,000 quid. And I thought that's enough. My Amex bill is already high enough. It's nearly like £50,000. So, but yeah, so Stephen says, I was skeptical of PPP, so stopped using a different repricer for a bit. Noticed sales took a dip, then signed up for PPP and sales went upwards. Definitely seems worth the money. Absolutely, yeah. It's hard to really portray how good it is, really. But it's the one that I use. I moved over from STK to PPP. I was umming and ahhing over it for ages and ages. I didn't want to do it because it's such a big monumental effort to do it. And I thought, SDK's fine, my repricer is fine. But actually, I lost out on loads of money, basically, because PPP really does push up that the price you can get the buy box for. So that's the main thing it does. It just tests Amazon's limits. And you'd be surprised at how high a price you can get for your products. So everyone else might be selling something for £10, but PPP might have figured out you can sell it for 12 and still keep the buy box. So, and that's where all the sales happen, on the buy box. 84% of sales happen in the buy box. So as long as you can get the buy box at a higher price, then you can make more money. It really is good. So it's got a free trial. It's a no-brainer. Give it a go. I remember you talking about RT Accounting, how you find them. I'll be honest, I've not actually properly set up with them yet. So I've been a little bit lazy on that. I've been mainly focusing on just finishing off with Awesome. They're doing my end of year accounts and my final VAT return with them for August, September. No, I can't remember. The last VAT return, Q3 VAT return. I can't think. Yeah, and then I'm really going to focus down. But I've got all the stuff set up. It's actually crazy how many things you need. So you need Xero, that costs I don't know, 20, 25, 30 pounds a month. You need Link My Books, which is £46 a month. And then obviously you've got to pay for accounting as well. Once you've got that. But the main thing is, even though it costs quite a lot of money, is you need to make sure you're getting the right account. So, and that's something I know I'm not getting with Awesome. But yeah, they're just finishing off what they're going to do, and then I'm going to move over and properly deal with RT. But to be fair, they've been pretty communicative with me. They've messaged me saying, hey, end of year accounts, let us know your stock value, which was good. So Awesome still haven't asked me that yet, even though they're doing my end of year accounts. That's a very important thing. So the longer it goes on now, because I'm meant to know your stock level on the 30th of September, I think is for me. So we're now 14 days in, they've still not asked me for my stock level. So that's another thing that Awesome did really badly. And I've had it in the past where when I went from non-VAT to VAT, I think it was about 6 months later, they asked me, what was your stock count or your stock value when you went VAT registered? I was like, how the hell am I meant to know 6 months later? And that was also the same for my end of year accounts year one. Again, 4, 5, 6 months later, they said, hey, what was your stock level? I'm like, it's hard enough to know what my stock level is on a snapshot today, let alone figuring out 6 months in the past. It's impossible, basically. So, but yeah, other than that, I just know a lot of people use them and they're very happy with them. So I've just moved over, but not fully utilised them just yet. So Brad says 8K an hour at 40%. No, I don't think it was all 40%, to be fair. I actually can't remember what the ROI on them was. Yeah, I don't think it was 40% now, I'll be honest on that one. I actually can't remember. I can have a quick look, but I think it was more around the 30%. I'm trying to think what I bought now without actually giving it away. Let me have a look at my orders actually to remind me. So this white balance is all going to get messed up here. Let me have a look. What did I order? I've got my 4 orders here. Okay, yeah, so I've got a makeup item that I know I'm selling really well right now. So let me have a look at that one quickly. That's 30-40% ROI. 37.94% on that one, so that's pretty good. So yeah, restocked on that one. So again, you can replan those items, guys, from Cogita, which is really good. There was another. Actually, I'm trying to remember all the different ones here. So it was 2 makeup items, 2 perfume items, basically. That's what I bought, basically. So yeah, God, my camera's going crazy with me opening up all these browsers. But yeah, good. I can't remember the exact ROIs, to be honest. End of the day, what I really care about is the profit. So, like I say, I'll take a perfume like the one I sold earlier, which is £9.29 profit, but it's 22% ROI. It's still £9 profit a unit. So, at the end of the day, that's what I care about, is making money, not necessarily the ROIs. But I do obviously keep in mind those ROIs. So, but I'll take 20% if I can. I'll even take down to like 10% if I can sell something really. Let's say I can get a bunch of these, and they sell like, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 a month. And I'm making like £1 a unit at 10% ROI. Sure, I'll take that. As long as the price is stable, then I'm happy with that. So hopefully you guys can still see me. It's complaining about some error with maintaining stream smoothing. I don't know. Anyway, let me know. So Snappy, what am I giving away then? Proceed to list his oh yeah. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I bought. So yeah. So yeah, you guys got any more questions? Let me know. By the way, my editor is I've just recorded a video of how to use Cogito. Actually, what I call like the triple threat, the new method of sourcing, which is Cogito price drop monitors with Cogito Arbisource and Cogito. So I've done a whole video on that, explaining that to people. So I think a few people were a little bit confused. He's just saying that's uploading now, which is awesome. So that's another nice thing. I've just got the video editor now, so I can just dump the videos onto him. He edits them for me, and then does all the work for me, which is really great. So yeah, so just asking, going out of Q4, will you still be going for perfumes, or do you think you'll change your approach? So I will go for perfumes still, but not as heavily, because obviously the sales volumes just collapse. So what normally sells 50 sales per month goes up to like 1,000 or 2,000 in Christmas, which means obviously when we come into January and February, it's going to go back down to 50. So I'm not saying I won't buy them, but it has to be like a good seller, has to be a good profit. And again, I'll be looking for those higher ROIs, definitely, to give me that margin of error, because it's not quite the sales velocity. So this is definitely more of a Q4 sourcing method, to be honest. Yeah, so like I said, I sell perfumes year round, but not that many, if that makes sense. So it is more of a Q4 thing. So, but there's plenty of other stuff on Cogito as well. Like some of the good things that I've got are, say, makeup items. What else have I got? A few dental items, I think, but good replenishable items. But yeah, so yeah, there'll be plenty to buy from there that are not just perfumes. So Brad, talking about CU, how's the A7S? Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, so I've got the A7S3, I think it is. It's really good. Hopefully you guys can see good quality. I mean, this is streaming, so it's not as good, to be honest, but I've been trying to level up everything from the editing to the presentation to my talking, trying to be more articulate, trying to make it more entertaining. My last video, by the way, where I talk about how to make £10,000 every month consistently, or whatever money you want to make every month, it's done way better than normal. It's got better retention, and all that kind of stuff. So it was a really good video, good editing as well. My editor did a fantastic job there. And so looking at all the analytics of that video, it seemed to do really well. So if you guys want to check that out, check out my channel. I tell you exactly how you can make your consistent money every single month. I say that as I'm like not making 10,000 this month, but yeah, so I've got the stock. I just can't seem to sell it. But no, I'm really idealistic with my prices, to be fair. So I'm really someone who likes to hold for the best price, and that's definitely a mistake. I think sometimes churning stock's better. You can't see my hand movements here, but I'm like doing the churning movement. But yeah, I think sometimes churning stock is a little bit better than holding. It's finding that balance, really. But yeah, great camera anyway. So yeah, so as I do better in Amazon and social media, I just upgrade everything, put all money back into reinvesting into the channel. So need to get a thumbnail editor soon as well. Need to, I don't know, just improve things more, I guess. So obviously you can see the studio got improved as well. Bocage, only problem I found with Arbisource was it can't filter out variation listings, which is one of the massive ball. Yeah, absolutely. That is one downside, is that, one of the things I like to do when I'm doing Arbisource is once I put my filters in and stuff, I like to order it by either BSR or sales estimates. But of course, it doesn't factor in variation. So it might say that a product sells 3,000 a month, but this is like some ridiculous variation with like 200 different, it might be a makeup that's got 200 different colors, obviously. Yeah, so that's the only downside. It is kind of annoying, I guess, but At the same time, it's fine. Just work through it, I guess. It's obvious which ones are kind of all the variations. And as well, to be honest, the more effort you have to put in, the better, because people are kind of lazy when it comes to sourcing. And again, another bit of advice I gave to Antoine today, I was like, the more effort you can put into sourcing, the better, because people are really lazy. Like people are like the guy who's moaning about the fact that like I must be using some magical newsletters. I'm like, what do you want them to? Do you want them to literally email you? Here are some Amazon deals. You worry about tanking prices? Yeah, imagine what would happen if they literally said, "Hey, Amazon sellers, here are all the deals for you." Like they would tank instantly. So the more effort you can put into sourcing, the better, I think, because people, 90% of people are really lazy. So if you can go that next level, then that's going to really help you. But anyway, so yeah, Snappy Fish says Valentine's. It doesn't really affect the sales volumes that much, Valentine's, for perfumes. It goes up a little bit, but it really is nothing compared to Christmas. So it'd probably go from like 50 to 100 in terms of sales velocity. So it might double potentially, but I've not always seen that on the perfumes. I guess it depends on the perfume, I suppose. It's just Christmas where it goes 10x, 20x, and maybe Valentine's is like 2x. But maybe I've not seen the right kinds of perfumes. But you'd think they would be Valentine's gifts, but I've just not seen those kind of crazy spikes in sales velocities around Valentine's. And trust me, I've been looking as well. So, yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, really. I don't know why that is, but I don't know. Yeah, just a bit weird one. But maybe I'm just looking at the wrong kind of perfumes. I don't know, on aftershaves, but I don't know. Well, you wouldn't get. Well, maybe you will get aftershaves. I don't know. But yeah. So, is Kogita one of your wholesalers? Do you only work with them? Yeah, I literally don't do wholesale outside of Kogita. So again, I'm relatively lazy actually myself when it comes to wholesale. I didn't really want to get into the wholesale thing, but with Kogita making it so easy, I've gotten into wholesale that way. Now it's given me that kind of wholesale bug a little bit, and I'm hoping maybe after Christmas I'll get more into wholesale. It's just fine for me. It's finding that balance between doing the social media and Discord community and Amazon as well. So it's finding that balance. But yeah, if you're into Amazon FBA and you love Kogita, you love the wholesale thing, then definitely start looking to do wholesale as well, like outside of Kogita. If you can find them for any other obviously Kogita does health and beauty, but there are so many other categories out there you can do. Yeah, definitely worth looking into. Basically, you just need the budget and you need to know what you're doing as well. Like I say, if you're under a year selling on Amazon, I tend to say avoid contacting wholesalers, just because the minimum order quantity is going to be quite high. Kogita is a little bit of a nice one because it's normally like £200-300 minimum order quantity, which is not really that bad. But yeah, normally in your first year, you're going to make mistakes. And if your minimum order quantity is like £1,000, £2,000, then if you make a mistake there, that's going to cost you quite a lot of money if you buy the wrong product and stuff. So yeah, give me 1 second. So have a beverage. So yeah, same with private label as well. I don't recommend that for new people. But yeah, definitely going to be looking into wholesale next year, I think. So if I can get some good accounts. But yeah, so you can see the amount of variations when you are scrolling down the list on RB. Okay, I've not noticed that myself, but maybe I'll have a look. Yeah, I get into these like habits of like just doing one thing, and then once it works for me, I kind of like am blind to other things. So it's always good when someone like you're saying, "Oh, try this other way." So I'll give that a go. See if there's definitely that thing. Nihal is saying, in terms of accounting, do you do anything to reduce your taxes, like make pension contributions? I don't, but I really should. But the problem is, Osam, my accountant, was so bad. They didn't give me any advice on any of this stuff. They just do the absolute bare minimum, which is why I'm not going with them. But I know RT Accounting already gave me some already good advice before I even joined them. Because I've got 2 or 3 different companies. I've got a limited company now for my social media. I've got my Amazon company. I've got a software company as well, which I don't actually use. But I plan to make some software. And my accountant, RT, was basically saying, well, why don't we create like an umbrella corporation above this? So, and then, so that can be the one that manages. And the nice thing about that is you can shuffle profits, apparently, between all the different companies. It's much more tax efficient. And obviously then we can talk about things like pensions and things like that. So, but yeah, you should be doing all that stuff to absolutely reduce your tax bill, 100%. At the same time, I've not really paid myself anything from Amazon yet. So I have taken a few director's loans back out, to be fair, and then put them back in again because I was really short on my Amex bill 2 months ago. So everything I took out, I basically ended up putting back in. But yeah, so I've not really been paying myself. I've all been about, like, I need to get the hand gestures here, but like returning the money, basically, like reinvesting and building up. And that's how I've got so much money in my Amazon account, because, you know, in stock, because I just keep reinvesting it. So, and I'm lucky I've got sources of income outside of Amazon to keep me afloat. So it's maybe not typical, but, you know, that does help. So maybe a little bit of a different situation to most people. So Swaham says, "Hey mate, joined a little late. No problem. You can join whenever you want. It's all good. We've got 19 people joining, listening, which is awesome." So could you explain what Cogita is? Yeah, Cogita is a marketplace for wholesalers. So essentially, they've got, I think, over 400 wholesalers now who list their products on there at a certain price, and then you can buy from wholesalers all over Europe without actually having to contact the wholesaler, open an account, go through the whole rigmarole of, are you an Amazon seller? And if you are, we won't give you an account, all this kind of rubbish. It basically just lets you have direct access to wholesalers, over 400 of them, and access to their products. It's kind of crazy how good that is when you think about it. Anyone who's tried to open a wholesale account as an Amazon seller will know it's a pain in the butt. It's a nightmare. So having access to that just through a website, you can just order, is great. The other great thing as well is they deal with all import fees, all VAT, all that stuff is all just dealt with, so you don't have to do any extra work. I know guys who have ordered pallets of items from Germany and they just arrived like 3 days later. So try doing that yourself. You have to deal with like pallet forwarding companies, you have to deal with the import taxes, all that kind of stuff, but they quickly to do it all for you basically. So there'll be a link for that in the description, hopefully, and use code FBA Mogul to get £120 off your first order. So yeah, hey Adam, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. So Adam is the private label, one of the private label experts that I know anyway. Adam and Nikos are both the two private label experts that I know. Just double check my messages here quickly, see if there's any question. Okay, yeah, interesting. So yeah, the variations are on the right hand side. Absolutely, never noticed that actually. I do appreciate that. So yeah, there you go. That shows you. On the very right-hand side, you can see the variations. Thanks for that. Do appreciate that. So Bukesh says, do you know the Cogita team? Do they know if they plan expanding to other categories or make new company? So I don't know them personally, but I've spoken to, I think, 4 of them, basically. I'm in direct contact with like their promotions guy, I suppose, the guy who like brought me on board as a brand ambassador. I'm a brand ambassador for Cogita. I've spoken to like the product lead guy. I've spoken to a customer service person as well. So I've got quite a few little WhatsApps going with people, and they ask me questions about, the main thing right now is like the invoice issue. So they're always asking me questions about invoices, like how does ungating working, how does an authenticity claim work, all this kind of stuff. Why do we need invoices? So obviously I've been pushing really hard to get these invoices, and they've nearly come up with a solution, which is really good. So I think they're not too far away from releasing that, which is going to be fantastic, or at least a temporary solution anyway, because I know that's a big issue for most people. Excuse me, my throat is a bit funny today. Hopefully I'm not coming down with anything. But yeah, so I speak to them. I spoke to them on phone calls and stuff quite a lot. So I'm just trying to help them build the company, because I see the opportunity here for Amazon sellers is kind of crazy, and they just need to take that next step to encourage Amazon sellers to buy from their platform. And that obviously the invoices is the big one. The great news is, though, I've now seen at least, I think it's 3 or 4 people now who have fought authenticity claims with Cogita invoices, which is really nice to see. So that's kind of like that worry is not so worrisome anymore, basically, which is really nice. So Jack says, any more success stories from Cogita invoices being IPs? Yeah, essentially, yeah, there you go. So sorry, just mention that now. So yeah, I know 3 people who have fought authenticity claims, not IP claims, authenticity claims with Cogita invoices. So essentially, kind of the same thing in a way, I suppose. Not necessarily, but yeah, I mean, you shouldn't really try to fight IP claims anyway. To be honest, that's always one that's very tricky. You can do with Amazon invoices, but it's a bit of a dodgy one. You should avoid IP listings. But the main thing is obviously just making sure you can fight authenticity claims, and that's what it's done. But they are coming up with a solution. I think there's 2 solutions they were thinking of doing. One was adding a filter into Cogito, so you can filter out wholesalers that won't provide invoices. The other one, which I think actually sounds better now, is they're going to essentially, I guess, get the approval of the wholesaler, and they're going to produce the Cogito invoice and the seller invoice at the same time, and that will be available immediately after that item's been dispatched. So you'll have both of those sort of seller invoices and Cogito invoices available right away. And I said I think that was fine, so that should be fine for Amazon. But like I say, Amazon right now just accepting Cogito invoices for authenticity claims, which is really good. So yeah, and thanks for joining us, Jack, as well. So Berkage was saying, I was thinking about the pallet thing. What happens if I order enough for a pallet, considering I'm just using my house for business, ATM? Can't back it. Well, I guess you don't know actually how it's going to turn up, I guess. That's down to the wholesaler to decide how they're going to send it. I've had items that possibly could come on a pallet, but they just turned up in boxes. And other people that have had pallets, they'd literally, I guess that's the tricky thing, I suppose. In theory, the worst case scenario is a lorry turns up and they don't have a forklift on there, and you'd have to basically unpack it off the pallet. It's not a giant deal, really. It's not ideal. You don't want to, but it's not end of the world. So, but you don't get to choose how it gets sent. So sometimes if you order a lot of items, it might come on the pallet. Other times it might just come in individual boxes. So all down to the wholesaler, really. Up to them to decide, really. So yeah, hopefully that answers your questions on Cogito. It is really OP, in my opinion. Every time I go on there, I just literally spend so much money. I've run out of money spending on Cogito. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, really. So any other questions, guys? Let me know. Let's see if there's any nice sales since you've been on the live stream. Nothing too crazy. £4.95. I've got 279 left in stock. A nice Cogito order that was, actually. Yeah, sells maybe 3 or 4 a day, so not too bad. But yeah, it's just building up these those items like that. They make £5 or whatever. You sell 4 or 5 a day, 3 or 4 a day. You get 10 of those. You got £200 a day plus all the other stuff as well. I've got some Lego units here that we've been holding for a little while. £20 profit. Been holding them for quite a while, actually, to be honest. All sorts of stuff, really, actually. I've got an item here, actually, I've been holding for just a year now, basically. It was a very old lead, and it tanked crazily, and I've been holding out for ages, and now I'm making £1 a unit. I've probably broken even after paying storage on them. But yeah, finally, and I've got 200 of those left in stock. That wasn't a good purchase. That was definitely a mistake. I went deep on that one, and yeah, like I say, you can make mistakes, and it sucks when you make a mistake on something where you bought hundreds of them. You've got a lot of money tied up. You're paying for storage, and then in theory they could expire as well. Like this one, fortunately, has got a very good expiry date as well. Otherwise, I've been really screwed on that. So yeah, we've got 20 minutes left, guys. Let me know if you guys got any more questions. Doesn't have to be about Amazon. You can ask me about anything else if you want. So it's all good. But yeah, thanks to the Brad for that thing on Arbisource. It's good to see. I just never noticed that before, actually. So that's a nice option on Arbisource. I don't know how you hold something for a year. I start sweating at 2 months. It kind of just happened because the price just tanked. It went down to where it was I think it was losing £2 or £3 per unit, and I wasn't willing to lose that much money. It actually got to the point where I was actually accepted. I think it was about a month ago. I basically said, well, I'm happy to lose 50p an item. But as everyone else is now sold out, there's only 2 or 3 sellers left. And using PPP as well, because I just set my min-maxes. It's now pushed it up, and actually we're actually making £1 profit now per unit. So like I say, I'm probably still losing money on those because I don't know. It's very hard to actually see what's it cost in storage for those particular units. If you guys know how to actually look that up, that'd be fantastic. I'll have a look and see. But I don't know actually how to do that, where I can go look at this ASIN and go, how much have I paid in the storage? I suppose I could use Seller Amp to look at that. But on in terms of Amazon reports and stuff, I'm sure there is a way to see the reports for that. But yeah, so it's a very inefficient way to use your money. So I'm making 12% ROI, and I've had that in a year. So I guess it's better than the bank, but it's not 12%, is it? Because I've storage. So yeah, I've had that money, but it just, you accept that's part of the business, I suppose, and it's part of retail. Not everything's going to be a winner, so it just sucks when the one that you buy a lot of because you think you got a really good deal turns out to be a bit of a lemon, and you sit on there for ages. So yeah, that kind of sucked a little bit. So Claudia says, do you know what percentage Creator makes off each purchase? Are they charging sellers a membership? I don't know the exact method of how it works, to be honest. I have asked and I've not been told, so maybe it's confidential. But I actually don't know how they make their money. I'm assuming they just charge a percentage, like maybe 1 or 2% on the... That would make the most sense, to be fair. But I'm not sure, actually. So Dom says, what are your main sources of income? So my main source of income is Amazon FBA. Obviously, it doesn't come to me, but that's every month. That's where I make the most money. Social media and affiliates and stuff have now gotten to the point, especially with Profit Sweep, where I guess I'm trying to think how much it makes. Maybe 2,000 to 3,000 a month now. But it's taken like nearly a year to get to that level. And I say Profit Sweep is a big majority of that. So if we take Profit Sweep away, then probably about £1,000 a month from affiliates and things like that. So I do appreciate you guys when you use my affiliate links. It really does help out the channel and things like that. So, I'm pretty frugal in general. I live in a small apartment. I don't have rent or mortgage to pay for it. So my bills are pretty low. I'm just pretty frugal, to be fair. So I just don't live beyond my means. So if I get £1,000 in, it pretty much covers my bills. I did do something a little bit extravagant though. I'll show you guys here. Probably shouldn't show you this. I did treat myself to a nice gift, actually, for a little bit of an early Christmas present, like a celebration of how well the channel's been going. But I bought myself I don't know if it's going to show up, but I bought myself a new watch, which is quite nice. It's not going to show. But yeah, so that was my treat to myself anyway. Yeah, that was ridiculously expensive. But that was a treat to myself that I don't often do. Generally, I just put my money back into business, really. I just don't live beyond my means. So yeah, so I can live off £1,000 a month, basically. But yeah, so that's where my money comes from. I'm trying to think. I used to run an Airbnb as well. I don't run that anymore. Actually, right now, that apartment is being, well, I guess, rented by my younger brother. He's in it for free. So I'm trying to help him out with his business so he can stay there for free. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it right now. I'm just trying to build this business up. I'm trying to build the social media side, the affiliate side. I literally get asked every day nearly, do I do mentorship? No, I don't. Maybe in the future. That might be another income stream potentially. But I'm kind of reluctant to do that, to be honest. But yeah, so no, it's not a Rolex. I tried to get a Rolex. It's basically impossible. I'm on the list for one. I just got fed up of waiting. I really wanted to get an Explorer 2 in the white dial or black dial. I've been on the list. I mean, not that long, like 3 or 4 months now. Just taking too long for me. So I treated myself. This is I'm not sure why it's not focusing. This is a 46mm Breitling Navitimer. It's just not focusing at all. So there we go. So that was a treat to myself. You can see it's running there. So that was my treat. That's my extravagant purchase for the decade. Yeah. So yeah, it's a Navitimer. I've always wanted a Navitimer ever since like 2010. And never, maybe could have afforded one, but never really wanted to spend that much money on one. But yeah, finally treated myself anyway. So, but yeah, that's pretty much where the money comes from. Yeah. So, yeah. Not crazy amounts. I mean, Amazon's pretty much the primary income source for me, but I'm trying to build the social media side, things like that. So, I don't make any money from the actual YouTube videos. I have a sponsorship. I have affiliate income coming in. That's why it really helps me out when you guys use my links, because it helps promote the channel. I don't make much of each one. Might be a couple of quid a month, or maybe I think £10 a month is maybe the most for them. But it really helps me out when you obviously add volume to that. So and it encourages me to continue to do things like this, which I really enjoy. So And to be honest, I enjoy doing this more than I do Amazon now, to be honest. So I do like, obviously, buying something and seeing the big profits coming in on Amazon. I'm just not a huge fan of all the other admin and stuff that comes around Amazon right now, especially returns, because they're piling up massive. I must have 5-10 grand worth of returns sat around, maybe even more. They need to be dealt with. That's the worst part of Amazon. But I definitely prefer helping people and doing YouTube more than I do the Amazon right now. So, but obviously I continue to do Amazon because it's my main income source. So, Bokesh says, can individual listings or brands be IP, or is it just a brand as a whole? It's actually down to well, I guess it depends if that brand is really strict, in which case they'll go after all listings. But sometimes I've seen where it's just like certain listings they've gone after and other listings they haven't. It's, again, there's no one rule. And there's been certain brands of listings where people have said to me, hey, do not buy that brand because or that listing because I was on it and I got IP'd. I've been on it for like months and been fine. So they seem to be okay with me selling it, but not other people. Really strange. That was an Amazon to Amazon. That was a Wacom graphic tablet. People saying they got hit with IP claims. I never had any problems whatsoever with it, and I was in stock for ages. Really weird, really. So maybe they were going after people who are too low in price. That could be just occurred to me that. So maybe that's what they're doing, trying to protect their brand. That's what it comes down to, trying to protect the brand, in general. But yeah, there's no hard and fast rule on IPs, all down to each individual brand owner. Some of them are really ruthless on every listing. Other times they just go after certain listings. Tend to avoid those brands in general. So guys, wait till you go to Dubai with those extravagant purchases. Yeah, I mean, look, you go to Dubai, like, you are a pauper, basically, compared to some people out there. So you don't want to let lifestyle creep happen, because there are people out there. You don't want to keep up with the Joneses, as they say, because the Joneses out there are like billionaire sheikhs and stuff. So, but no, I've never been too influenced with that kind of stuff, really. So just stay in my lane, have the occasional extravagant purchase, like the camera, for example. Business expense, though. Technology is normally my big Achilles heel when it comes to buying things, and probably I spend a bit too much on food as well, as you can probably see from my belly. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I'm looking forward to going to Dubai in January. It should be good fun. So, the unfocused logo looks like a crown. Oh yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I tried to get, look, even now, Rolexes, you can't get them. You have to go on a wait list. So I had the money set aside ready for it, and they just didn't want to take my money. So, I put it into a Breitling. To be fair, I've always wanted an Nava timer. So it's a really nice watch, to be fair. So I was very happy with it. Nihal was saying, hope this question makes sense. I noticed that seller had gated some known brands, and I could not list on them with our submitting invoices to Ungate. I noticed that the seller had gated some known brands. I'm not sure what you mean by that, actually. Yeah. And I could not list them without submitting invoices to Ungate. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. You're just talking about normal. I guess I don't know really. Yeah, just do you want to clarify that? I'm not sure quite what you mean there. Flippy says, have I missed anything about the new DG doc requirements? Yeah, I saw you mention something in the chat, actually. It was just obviously I couldn't read that document while being on here, but something about the shipment of record. So I think this is, I'm not sure actually, because I didn't have much details in there. I did look at this. I think it's basically saying, like, if you're going to send dangerous goods, make sure you're doing it legally through the correct couriers, which is what I've always been saying anyway. Don't do DG yourself. Use a prep center, because they have the correct contracts in place with UPS or DPD or whoever you're going to use, or they use, I should technically. When you send your items through UPS, you're not meant to. So it is, you need a proper contract in place. They need to know it's dangerous goods. So I think that's what it's related to. They're basically just saying, like, don't be naughty. Make sure you send it through the correct courier, basically with the correct stuff. I think that's what it is, but I'm not sure. And when you go to look at like more information, it doesn't really seem to give you any more information. But yeah, I think that's what it is really. But I'm not 100% sure. So if anyone's got any more details on that, that'd be really good to see, because I'm not 100% sure. So Nick says, recently found your content, loving it so far. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. And part-time seller, struggling with cash flow. Any tips apart from RA to FBM to increase cash flow quickly? Yeah, it's a tough one really. Just churn stock. I guess just be willing to maybe take those lower prices, as much as I hate to say that, because it means like price tanking, but you've got to churn. Either you go for high ROI and then or you churn, I guess, is the two things you can do. Or do both, I suppose. But yeah, just keep that money churning and keep it moving, keep it earning. I tend to be more of a holder, but recently when I've started having same problems, running out of money, and I've got more opportunities to buy, I'm now like looking more to maybe just churn the stock, take a little bit less profit, but that means I can keep it going, keep it churning. I think that's a really big key to growth, is that churn, unless you're starting off with a lot of money. The other thing you can do is, again, not financial advice, and use them carefully, but you can use credit cards like Capital on Tap or American Express to just maybe squeeze out a little bit extra money every month. Don't go crazy on them, but and in my group I've got links to both those. Capital on Tap, you can get £75 for free as well, which is nice as well for your cash flow as well. It gives you a little bit extra money. So they give you £75 free. I'll post a link actually for that in the chat, because Capital on Tap really is a good credit card actually. It's one of my favorite ones. So but yeah, there you go. That's if you want to get Capital on Tap, that's the link for it. Where are we here? Have I missed something? No, read that one. Oh, didn't fancy buying a used Rolex. I don't like buying things over RRP, so they go for too much. So the one that I wanted to get was 8.5, and then they were selling for like 10.5 to 11, I think, on the secondary market. I'm just not willing to pay that much money. Even paying 8.5 was ridiculous, to be fair. It's a total ridiculous extravagance. So I just wasn't willing to pay the extra money for not a used one. You can still get, you can get used. You can get obviously like new ones still in the grey market, but decided not to bother. Just not willing to pay that much money. There's something, being an Amazon seller, I don't like to buy things over price. I like to get a deal. So that's just ingrained into me. I've always been someone who tries to find deals, like to get deals. So I hate buying things over the RRP. I just can't do it unless I can make more money off it. So when it comes to invoices, do you have invoices for everything you bought when it comes to counting or not? Yes. Now I basically only really buy from places where I get invoices. So when I first started out on Amazon, I obviously didn't really know about the importance of invoices, and I was a bit of just buy it from everywhere, and it's not as important, I suppose. You're not claiming VAT back. Is when you need the invoices for two things. One is for VAT and two is for authenticity, basically. Those are the two things. So if you happen to get an authenticity claim on Amazon, you got your invoice saying, hey, this is a real product, and you're good to go. The other one is VAT. Because you're essentially claiming money back from the government, you're basically saying, hey, I bought this whatever iPhone here for £1,000. Government, you owe me £200 or whatever it is, £166 actually, I think. In VAT. So you're basically taking money from the government. So you need to have all your ducks in a row, basically, all your invoices in a row, because you're essentially saying, hey, you owe me the money back now to the government, to HMRC. Obviously, they're hoping that you're going to then sell this for £1,200, and then that you actually are paying them more money in VAT. And it's the difference between those two things. So that you end up paying them. But yeah, that's why you need the invoices. So now I only really buy from places that give invoices, because I need to claim that VAT back. Unless it's so profitable that I don't need to claim the VAT back and I just write it off. But I don't think I've one product like that, which was from Starvana, and ended up getting lost. But yeah, where it was so profitable that I was able to buy it and not care about the VAT. But yeah, that's why basically it's all about VAT and claiming the VAT back and authenticity as well. So no problem, thanks. I'm glad you're loving it, Nick. Nice watch. So I was really pleased with it, to be honest. So it took me ages to decide which one I wanted. I'm really happy with it. So it's a nice little purchase, nice little treat to myself. So basically it was a treat to myself because I took a big gamble in quitting my job, which I was getting good money. I had stocks and I had shares in it. I was the first employee there. And I decided, you know what, though, I want to do my own business. And it was a kind of reward to myself for taking that leap of faith and, making a success of it, basically. So I was like, you know what, it's a good milestone. I think I hit like 2 years. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to treat myself to a nice present now as a little reward for doing that and being successful and working hard as well. I've worked really hard in the past 2 years. I worked harder in the past 2 years for my own business than I did in a job. So you that's the great thing about your business, though. You want to work hard. Hopefully you do anyway because you enjoy it. But yeah, so do recommend you treat yourself, whether it's just even going out for a meal or whether you want some sort of gadget or whatever. Definitely do that. You know, it's good to set those things as well. So Brad says you need to be careful with used Rolexes. Rolex always has to get permission for the sale. Yeah, I mean technically, yeah. So yeah, there's plenty of sites that sell them. I looked, you know, I wasn't willing to spend the extra money on them. I mean, there are some legitimate sites that sell them. But yeah, I just wasn't willing to. I tried to go the proper route. You know, actually, to be fair, I went down to my local goldsmith. The guy was really nice. He basically said, you know, we can probably get you the Explorer too, but it's going to take a while. Just not turned up yet, and I got sick of waiting. So, but yeah, my ultimate Grail watch is the Rolex Pepsi with the meteorite dial. So that's my ultimate watch. If you guys want to Google that, you can see. So it's actually got a slice of meteorite as the dial, which looks absolutely sick. As you can't really tell, but I'm kind of obsessed with space. I don't know why, actually. Just love the whole, like, yeah, just cool. So having something that literally drifted through the universe for like 1 billion or 2 billion years where it landed on Earth and then was put into watch seems pretty cool to me. So the only problem with that is like 40 grand. So maybe in 5-10 years I'll be able to afford one of those. So, but yeah, that's extraordinarily hard watch to get. But it's also a ridiculous amount of money as well. So this was hard enough to pay for, actually. Being in business and, you know, every pound that I've got can be spent on stock. To spend so much money on a watch was quite difficult for me because I could put that in the bank and make interest. I could put that into more stock. But you can't always just think about business. Sometimes you do have to think about spending some of the money you've earned. So that's sometimes important to do as well. It keeps you motivated as well. And, you know, it's not just about the business. You've got to enjoy life as well. So that's why I try and take a few nice holidays every year and treat myself every now and then to something nice. So Brad says, might be a bit nosy, but how on earth did you spend 30k sat in the bank to start Amazon FBA? Did you consciously raise capital ahead of starting? No, I've just been frugal, mate. Honestly, I just had a job. I have this flat I bought outright ages ago, so I don't have any rent. And I just basically saved the money. So I was very lucky. My parents did help me with the flat, by the way, so that full transparency there. But yeah, so that's why I've just been frugal. I saved money. I never live beyond my means. I always put money aside, always save money. Never got into like debt or anything like that. So I was always good in that regard and just saved that money up. And I got to the point where I had enough in the bank where I was able to then make that choice that I could quit my job and start my own business. That's what money brings, isn't it? It's freedom. In my opinion, anyway, it's freedom that it gives you. So that's the whole point, in my opinion, of having your own business and making plenty of money, is it gives you choices and freedom. Simple as that. So yeah, it's not necessarily just spend on stuff. It gives you that choice and the freedom, as I said. So that's how I think of money, essentially. But that's how, yeah. But essentially, I just live frugally. Simple as that. I had my Airbnb as well, which helped. So that brought some money in as well. Nothing crazy though. But that was a nice little bit on top of my income. But yeah, so am I going to Dubai soon? Yeah, I'm going in January. So I'm going for a month in January, which would be good fun. So it's all booked. Use my Amex points to book first class seats with British Airways. First time I've ever flown first class. The only time I've flown business class was when I was like 8 years old. So it'd be quite a step up. But yeah, otherwise it's normally just normal seats. But yeah, it should be good fun. So Nick says, par through Goldsmiths, I heard, bro. So 0% APR. I think I mentioned it in one of my videos. I tried to apply for credit. I got declined. I swear I mentioned it in one of my driving vlogs. But yeah, I tried to buy one with 0% credit. They wouldn't accept me. So I think it was like a security thing. I swear I talked about this in one of my videos. But we'll go on for like 5 or 10 minutes and I'm going to call it a night. But yeah, I applied for the credit in Goldsmiths. It went to like, we need to think about it for a little while. Then they called me up. We called them because it took like 10, 15 minutes and we didn't get a response, like a decision, sorry. And then they basically asked me a bunch of questions like, oh, do you have like a limited company and things like that? What's the company called? A dissolved one. I was like, yeah, here's the name of it. Then they said to me like, what credit cards you got? I was like, oh, I've got these 3 credit cards. Then they said to me, what are your limits on all the credit cards? I was like, I've got no freaking idea. I don't know. But she also said, without looking at a digital device, tell us the limits on those credit cards. And I said, oh, Amex Unlimited, which I was getting confused between my business one and personal one. And I think I failed the security on it. So anyway, I didn't bother. But yeah, it was 0% they were offering, which has been really good. I've taken that 100% all day. But they declined me. So, so I think for security reasons, because my credit score is really good. So yeah, that was embarrassing. That looked really bad. Probably why I've not been offered a Rolex now, because the guy thinks I'm broke. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that was an embarrassing story that I just told you guys there. But yeah, that happened. So I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in one of my driving vlogs. But yeah. So save for years to get. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So 100% I saved. This didn't come overnight. I tell you that right now. It did not come overnight to save that money. So are you going to vlog it? Would love to see the first class. I might record some of it. Yeah, sure. Why not? If I feel like comfortable enough to do it. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not really into, and I just say this after I just showed my new watch. I'm not really into flexing that kind of stuff. Like, I didn't really flex too much, like the holiday and stuff I went on in Mallorca. I did some videos there, but nothing too crazy. I actually did the whole walk around video, and I was like, you know what? That's not me. I'm not going to post that. I've got it's on my YouTube, but it's private, so just for me and friends. So I may do it, but again, I'm not really into like the flexing of that. It's not really who I am. So I'm doing it for the comfort really, rather than the flexing out. And of course, I had the points for it as well, which helped. So, but maybe if you guys want, I could potentially do it, record some elements of it, or take a few pictures. But yeah, it's not really my cup of tea to kind of flex that kind of stuff. Yeah. I'll leave that to all the other people on TikTok and stuff who flex all their stuff they don't own and stuff like that. I don't know, yeah. All the fakers. But yeah, so I think the reason why you guys hopefully enjoy what I do here and why I've had so much success is I keep it real. I don't bullshit. It's, I could easily fake the figures, but no, I just show you exactly what I'm doing. Sometimes they're good figures, sometimes they're bad figures or not as good as I'd like. But I like to keep it real with you guys, so I don't need to. I guess it's not faking it, but like it's not into the flexing anyway. So yeah, but if you guys are interested, because you're interested, I might film it and take some pictures. Sure. Yeah, massive Amex bills. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's one good thing about using Amex and like buying a lot of stuff is you build up a lot of like cashback. You build up a lot of cashback's another one as well. I mean, I must make like £500,000 a month on cashback. Not so much recently because I've been using Cogita, but before that, a decent amount of cashback comes in quite handy. It's quite nice. But yeah, so Boca said, wouldn't see it as a flex to see what it's like. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, I'll do it then. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if you guys want, I'm happy to film it if I can. But yeah, to be fair, it'd be, say, first time I've been into first class. So the only time I flew business class was we went to Australia for 2 years when I was 6 years old. Because my dad was in the RAF and we got posted out there. And I think the business class seats were empty, so I got to sit in business class then. So back when you don't really appreciate it, I remember you could fold out this TV, and I thought it was the best thing ever. This is back in like 1996, so yeah, something like crazy like that. Maybe even earlier. But yeah, so that would be good. Yeah, Snappy, yeah, absolutely keep it real, 100%. So I think, let's say Nikos is another guy as well. Keeps everything 100% real. I think it's the best way, personally. Nikos, super nice guy, by the way. If you're not watching his channel, check out Nikos Marco. He does pretty much what I do, but talks about private label. But yeah, so yeah. So Anton Sheffy says, hi there, new seller. What big brands would you advise to get ungated on and sell for a sustainable profit? It's very hard to say. Depends what area you want to go into, really. Perfume wise, obviously like Paco Rabanne, Armani, Versace. Versace's a big one for Christmas, by the way. All those kind of ones are good. It all depends, like, on what categories you go into. I could list off hundreds of different brands. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really give you like a massive list, really. But yeah, that's a good start, I suppose. I can't really think really what brands I can recommend without also giving stuff away as well. It could be quite a sensitive question. But yeah, I don't know. Just do some reverse sourcing maybe. See what other people are selling. That's always a good way to learn, is doing reverse sourcing, and see what brands people sell. That can be a good bit of advice for you. Nick says, loving the content. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate the kind words. It would be amazing if Cogita got a PayPal integration so I could use their credit option as a 0% commission for 4 months. So that would be very nice, actually. Cogita do offer a credit option. It's 0% for 1 month. And then I don't know what it charges. I think it's like 2% for the second month and then 4% for the third month. But you can get 1 month basically for 0%. I've not used it yet. I've got some credit on there. I've not used it yet. But my understanding is, from what someone told me, is you can utilize the 0% credit for the 1 month with Cogita and then pay it off with your Amex, which I suppose in theory would give you 2 months of interest free and the points as well. So that's something that might be worth looking into. You can apply for credit on Cogita. They gave me like 12,000, I think, which is not too bad really. So worth that, especially when you pay it on Amex. So yeah, it's really good. Empire says, would love to see you go in first class. Good inspiration. Small FBA says, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, anyone can do it. It cost me £709 and then 150,000 points, I think it was. So, which is like £150,000 spend. But you know, this is points I built up over a long time. And actually, when you think about it, spending £150,000 on stock is really not that difficult, really. So anyone could pretty much do that, to be honest. I had quite a few more points than that, actually. So I've got enough now to book first class I've moved the points over already to go to Dubai via Emirates, which is even nicer than BA. I've still got another 300,000 points sat in, maybe 200,000, I think, sat in Amex. So yeah, if you just spend the money, it's interesting, actually. I think it was Sam, the owner of Outsource Central, was buying things on Prime Day that were break even just because marginal profit, because he wants to build up the points, because obviously they can do that to get the cheap flights, get upgraded to first class or business class. So it's kind of an interesting strategy that people are using to just spend the money and break even on Amazon because they want to build up the points. Kind of interesting. So, but yeah, so 150 is 1 point per pound is what you get on Amex, unless you've got any kind of promotion going on. But they also do give you, like the Amex Gold, I believe, gives you an extra 40,000 points a year if you hit a certain spend every quarter. So I think if you spend £20,000 in a quarter, they give you an extra 10,000 points. So it's probably more like £120,000 spend gives you 150,000 points. Ish, depending on what kind of card you're on. I'm on the platinum now, just upgraded, because they give you, if you spend 10,000 a month, they give you 2 extra points. So they give you 10,000 points straight off the bat. They also give you an extra 10 as well. So you get 20,000 points. You're getting 2 points per pound, which again would be a £75,000 spend to basically get a first class flight. Now I spend like £50,000 a month. So although I think it's capped though. So yeah. I don't know, yeah, it's capped. You can do 10,000 and 10,000. They'll double it basically up to 10,000 per month. So it's actually not that hard to build up the points, really. Obviously, if you promote someone, get someone to join. I don't think I've had I've had one person go through Amex actually referral scheme, which is my younger brother, and they gave me some more points for that as well. But yeah, so it's really not that hard if you're going to do OA and Cogita as well, because I reckon Cogita will stop Amex, because Amex is really expensive in terms of transaction fees. So I don't think they're going to keep accepting it for very long, personally. I'm got no insight there. This is my personal opinion. So I definitely take advantage. I thought I just saw something, a ghost or something. I was like, what was that? Yeah, I don't think they're going to accept Amex forever, because I think they'll be probably biting into their margins. But who knows? But yeah, take advantage while you can. Put those big orders in. Like today, I spent £8,000. That's 8,000 points. So what's that percentage-wise towards a first-class flight? I don't know, like 5% or something. So yeah, pretty awesome. Definitely recommend you guys either use Capital on Tap or Amex. Depends what you plan on doing. Like Capital on Tap's really nice because they pay the 1%, just a flat rate, which you can put onto like Airbnb voucher or Amazon voucher, or with Amex, you can kind of like, get decent rewards if you're willing to travel. If you convert them into cash, that is terrible. It's absolutely awful. So you don't want to do that basically with Amex. You want to use it for flights. So So Empire says, how many months into FBA and what sales are you looking at doing per month when you apply for your first Amex? I don't. I do know actually, because so when I first started doing FBA, I did it as a sole trader, and I think I just applied almost right away for an Amex, like pretty much from day one, because I was a sole trader. Now, because you're a sole trader, that's just under your own personal name. So pretty easy to get, as long as you've got a good credit score history, pretty easy to get an Amex under your own name. So I did that and only used that Amex. I think everything pretty much went through the Amex, for that basically. So very easy to get. And I did that for the points, because I was like, well, if I'm spending this amount of money, I may as well get the points. So pretty much from day one. And then when I created my limited company, I feel like, again, from pretty much day one onwards, I was able to get an Amex card, actually. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think pretty much from day one is how I did it. So you only got to buy the card at the moment and want to get an Amex. So if you want to get an Amex, I'll send you. Are you Empire? Are you a sole trader or are you limited company? Let me know. In fact, DM me on Discord and I'll hook you up with some links. I'll do it, if they're affiliate links, I get some more points, you get some more points. So yeah, the other thing as well with Amex, you get some introductory points as well. So, but don't forget you got to factor in the yearly fee as well. So which is $250 I think a year for gold, and then $700 a year for platinum. I think it is something like that. But they actually offered me a free upgrade to platinum, which is really nice. So they actually refunded me the money I paid for the rest of the year for gold, and then gave me platinum for free for a year. So I did that maybe a couple months ago. And you get all the fancy, like, have I got one here? Try not. Have I got one? I don't know. Maybe not. Here we go. So you get the old. Try not to show the thing, but you get the old like metal card, which is quite nice. Not that you can see that, but yeah, you get that's pretty cool. So it's totally pointless. I don't carry cards around with me, but it's kind of cool to get the metal card. I mean, you can get that with Revolut and stuff. But yeah, so it's a good way. It's just one of the perks of doing this business is that you spend a lot of money, so you can build up all these nice rewards. Top cash back. You can build up your Amex points or Capital on Tap points. All these things, or if you use complete savings, use that as well. All these little extras actually, and you get to the point where I know, like Flipping at 30, for example, he makes a full-time living just off the bonuses. So he can live just off the bonuses. I'm not quite to that level yet, but I suppose maybe I don't know. Yeah, probably not. But yeah. So Brad says Platt gets all the lounges, etc. Doesn't it? I think so. Yeah. I did get like a. What's the lounge company called? Priority Pass, I think. Card. Yeah, I think you get it with gold. I think you get 2 visits a year with gold. And then with platinum, I think you probably get unlimited visits. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I only did it because A, I got more points when I spend money with platinum, and B, because they said to me it was free for the year. I wasn't going to pay £700, so it's only because it was free that I did it. So yeah, I think gold's probably the best bang for your buck. I don't think it's worth going for platinum myself. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll use it for the points, and then when the year comes up and they try and charge me £700 or whatever it costs, I'll probably just downgrade to gold again, to be honest. I need to think about whether it's worth it or not in terms of those extra points. But yeah, so I don't even carry a wallet anymore. I just carry my iPhone, so just Apple Pay and stuff. Yeah, so having got that fancy metal card's pointless. Yeah, try not to flex or anything like that, or care about what other people think, I suppose. So that kind of stuff. Then that's good life advice. But yeah, cool. Right, I think we'll wrap it up. If you got any final questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up. But we've gone on for a good amount of time. So you have to be VAT registered to claim VAT back. Yes, you do. Yes. So you can't claim VAT back unless you're VAT registered. So yes, that is true. That would be awesome if you could, but no. So. And the other great thing about, again, being able to claim VAT back is that when you make a business purchase when you're VAT registered, like a new camera or an iPhone for your business, you don't have to pay VAT on it. So you're essentially getting a discount. So it's quite nice as well. So that's one of the perks of that as well. So yeah, I'll stay on for a few more minutes to get any final questions in before we call it a day. I need to go and do some shopping at Sainsbury's. But yeah, go and get some dinner and a few treats maybe. So I've been trying to eat healthier recently. So I'm taking the what do you call it? The weight loss things at the moment, injections. So trying to eat healthier. But yeah. Cool. So yeah, VAT. Don't be scared by VAT, by the way. It does seem a little bit scary. It is a little bit of a headache, admin point of view, but definitely worth doing. It's a good progression in your business. So yeah, thanks, Snappy. Happy I could help. So I do appreciate you are a loyal viewer. You're pretty much on for all of the streams, which I do appreciate. So definitely one of the loyal ones. I do appreciate, and you're always commenting on my videos as well, which I do appreciate. So hopefully you don't have a bad dream tonight about Jeff Bezos chasing you. Coming after you, or Amazon closing your account down. So yeah, Amazon, to be fair, compared to the past, are actually not too bad. They used to be really strict. I was speaking to this guy today, used to sell in 2017. They used to just close your account down with no warning, no whatever. At least now you've got account health and things like that. So we've actually got it easy compared to the guys that you were doing it like 10 years ago or 5 years ago. So thanks, Claudia, for the question. Yeah, hopefully that answered your question on transparency codes. I think you can read about it as well. If you Google it, you can probably read more about it. But yeah, that's my understanding of the transparency codes. So what's Brad saying? What? Lol. What's that in relation to? There's a bit of a delay with the stream and the chat, so I sometimes forget what I've said. But yeah. Cool. So 2 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. But yeah, we've got 20 concurrent viewers now, which is awesome. So any final desperate questions you've got about Amazon, let me know. Then I need to go and do some shopping. I always leave it too late. Go in the evenings when it's quieter. But yeah, so yeah, Jeff Bezos chasing. Yeah, he left me a message on one of the videos saying he had a dream that Amazon closed his account. I think I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah. So I'm sure Snappy can tell you. But yeah, it looks like my editor's messaging me saying probably about the video. Uploaded a thumbnail as well. Look at that. So yeah, my editor, top-notch guy. To be honest, if you ever see this video, doing a great job. So Anton Sheffy. Yeah, Anton Sheffy. What categories do you think make the most profit for beginners? Again, you're asking sensitive questions here. Health and beauty is a good one to get into when you're a beginner, in my opinion. It's not the best one afterwards. But there's all sorts of categories. Just look around your home and see what you could buy from Amazon. Pretty much everything. But I think health and beauty is quite a nice one to get into. Lots of sites to source from. I'm just not a huge fan of it in the long term, but it is a good one to get into, especially when you're not VAT registered. Beyond that, I'm trying to think really what's a good thing. Oh, put me on the spot here. I don't know. What's another, like garden tools is not a bad one as well. I know a lot of people, like DIY is not a bad one as well that people do. Look into Amazon to Amazon as well, Sheffy. So Amazon to Amazon can be really good. So make sure you're in my Discord group, DM me, and I can send you a few links to a few Amazon to Amazon monitors if you want. So Amazon to Amazon can be a great way to get into Amazon selling when you're starting out. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Cool. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me tonight, asking questions. It was really good. We went on for an extra 20 minutes, actually. Started off a little bit slow, I thought, but actually it got into a good pace. Do appreciate it. If you guys want more information, check out all my videos. I've got loads of videos on YouTube, so you can loads of knowledge in there, learn loads about Amazon FBA. I'm sure a bunch of the questions you may have are already answered there as well. So trying to build up a nice catalog of information for people. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.